All right, guys. So I'm going to show you how to log a communication for a patient after the fact, right? So you can, easiest thing to do, honestly, is I would record while you're already talking to them, right? So let's say, for example, I need to do a callback for Violet Ashton, talk to her about this blood work. If I call her, and I can do this ahead of time. I can put in here add communication. If I hit send email by accident, that's okay. I can change what it is right here. It's not a big deal, right? So I'm going to log a phone call that we just had. So I'm going to come on in here and I'm going to just hit this record button, right? So I'm going to call Miss Ashen to discuss lab work. CBC normal, red and white blood cells no abnormal findings. Chemistry within normal limits. Liver, kidney, all looks great. Heart value normal. Thyroid within normal limits, no issues. Negative for FELV, FIV, and heartworm antigen. On urinalysis, patient had mildly dilute urine and a significant amount of red blood cells. And also on cytology, there was rafts of epithelial cells. Explained that there is a tumor called TCC, or transitional cell carcinoma, that can occur in our elderly patients, which can cause bleeding into the urine. And then really the epithelial rafts or rafts of epithelial cells is what's most concerning, that and the patient's age. Recommended abdominal ultrasound to determine whether or not it looks like there is a tumor in there. It usually hangs out at the neck of the bladder, which is right where the urethra exit into the outside world. This can result in some dribbling urine that the animal can have. Discussed possible options for treatment, which was either surgery or medical management. Owner unsure whether she would do surgery or even medical management, but she wants to know whether or not there is a tumor there. Owner would like to schedule, gave owner a verbal quote of about $600, got her scheduled for June 2nd. So after you say whatever you're going to say, again, if you're talking to the person on the phone, that's the easiest thing to do. Now, it's not going to catch their voice, right? So it's not going to catch their voice, but you can always repeat back any of their questions. Number one, that kind of confirms what they're asking. Additionally, that lets the tails know, or recording know what they are asking. Okay. Now, once you have gathered all that, just hit summarize. Okay. It's going to summarize that information. It's going to give it a subject, and then just briefly read through it and make sure it makes sense. Make sure there wasn't anything there crazy. Speaker discusses contacting Miss Ashton. And so, look, it spelled her name wrong. Fine. It's not a problem. We'll put that in there. So something I didn't mention here, right, was I'm going to add on. So I'm pretty sure you can add on just in case. I'm going to copy this just in case. Yeah, see, look, it actually has that available. So I'm going to add a dictation because I forgot that I did talk to her about something else. These findings could also be traumatic, that is, from the cystocentesis itself that will gather those red blood cells. You don't typically see those rafts of epithelial cells, however, with traumatic cystocentesis. Owner notes that the patient is getting better on the antibiotics. Could it be a UTI still? It still could be, however, unlikely because there are no white blood cells in the urine and there were no bacteria seen. I'm going to finalize that recording because I forgot to add that in there. Now, I don't change anything. I'm just going to summarize it again because that added it onto the bottom. I'm going to summarize that. Boom. So it's going to add that, right? Despite improvement with antibiotics, usually is considered unlikely, blah, blah, blah. Cool. Perfect. I love this, right? So I'm going to save this communication. All right. And that's going to be under client communications. Now, something that I would really like us doing is actually associating, because this is to that appointment, right? So you associate it to that appointment. Boom. It has the record. If I ever need to get there, it has it there. The communications will be linked to this. Let's say someone's like, oh, what is this? Why did Dr. Parker call this person? Okay, well, what was the exam like? Then we can easily get to it by this, right? So I can click that. Oh, shoot. I guess I'm wondering if it is my assumption, because it's probably going to be under that record. So let's look, see if it's there. Because it should, again, it should be associated with it. So if I come to this console, 195, there should be some communications. If not, then that's poor coding. See, I don't even know where that would be. Huh. Well, if you ask Tails, let's say I asked Tails, like, what was that communication about? Or was this visit ever communicated to anyone? It will tell you that it was. Again, that's communications in a nutshell. Start using the communication feature. Start using the transcription. Let's say, for example, someone calls and they want to talk about something, and you're like, oh my goodness, this is going to be a conversation. What you can do, come right up here. It's always here. Start a quick recording transcription. You can hit that. Someone's going to start, you're talking. Someone else could be talking as well. Let's say at the front desk. You can, or if you're on the phone, you need to gather this information because you want to log this phone call. Get that information. You then, once it's done, you stop recording. It's going to transcribe that. All you then have to do is you come in here. You're going to copy to clipboard. That copies it. And then let's say this was about test patient. So I'm going to come into test patient. All right. And we are going to log a communication. Or again, I can come here. Realistically, just use one of these guys over here. So let's say I'm going to come in. I'm going to log a phone call. Or let's say it was a login interaction, right? So I'm going to add this in here. Good. And then I'm going to summarize. And then once it summarizes, it's good to go, right? Just again, double check it and make sure it's the right thing you want, and it's good to go. So use that start quick recording transcription. If you're like, oh shoot, I'm not in the record. Oh shoot, I'm not here. You can grab that real quick and put that anywhere you want. You could use that for, oh shoot, someone walked up to you about a case that I'm working on right now. Start a quick recording. And then you can add that into the additional information on, say, like a record. So if you're in this record and you were recording, all of a sudden the owner walks up to you and you're like, oh, let me get into this real quick. You don't have to get to quick soap, right? Do that quick transcription, come over here, and then you can just put it into other findings, right? Just copy and paste it in other findings. It knows what's what, right? It will add it in there. So don't think that's a huge problem. That's it. I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have any other questions about that. Thanks, guys.